Eli Manning is up, the two-time Super Bowl champion, two-time Super Bowl MVP, four-time Pro Bowler. Let's put that on there. Not a single All-Pro.
That's interesting.
But NFL,
four-time Pro Bowl?
Yeah.
Who else had four? I was just curious. Do math.
Hey, Eli doesn't even have a second all-team. But the NFL record most passing yards in a single postseason in that 2011 run on the way to his second Super Bowl. David, Eli Manning, is he in or out?
Look, this is going to sound hypocritical at first, but I'm going to wrap it up at the end.
We're both going
10th
to
in completions, 9th in attempts, 10th in yards, 10th in touchdowns, 60th in passer rating, 12th in passes intercepted, 67th in interception percentage, 7th most fumbles in history. He's the definition of average. He's the definition of average with the 118 overall win-loss record. And I'm not a big fan of the win-losses, but like you think that a Hall of Famer, according to Wally, a Hall of Famer should be, just above and beyond and so fucking great.
Thank you. That's exactly what I want.
He has
Thank you.
He has two Super Bowl runs where I equate him more to Joe Flacco than his own brother. He has his most memorable moments of those Super Bowls were two miracle catches off of horrific throws from his two receivers that nobody can remember. David Tyree.
I was going to say, don't say we don't remember him, baby.
Mario Manningham. Like, literally, his two most iconic throws are some of the worst throws in history that his receivers made for him. So
That's so cool. They give him rings for that.
Oh my God!
It's probably because they couldn't create separation.
Eli Manning is like 3 spots back of Matt Ryan in volume of statistics. He doesn't deserve to be in, and he doesn't deserve to be in because there is no guy other than maybe Brett Favre who turned the ball over more.
Oh, wait until
Eli
you
Manning.
Get me, maybe.
I'm sorry. I just can't with Eli. He was never, to your point, he was never a top elite quarterback in the game. So why should he be in? Like, should Trent Dilfer be in? Let's go with the Wally. Should Trent Dilfer be in because he won a Super Bowl?
No.
And his team did all the work for him? Oh, then why should Eli Manning be in?
Yes,
you ready? I have the answer for you. Because this is why I'm afraid of putting people in like Frank Gore and Matt Ryan. Because it sets a precedent. Joe Namath. Joe Namath is the worst Hall of Famer of all time, but he's in for what? Because he guaranteed victory in Super Bowl III and he beat Johnny Unitas. He made that historic moment where the AFL he finally felt a part of the NFL. Eli Manning, what is he going to be remembered for? But for the greatest upset in NFL history. The 18-0 New England Patriots, Randy Moss, Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, the greatest of all time at each of their spots, arguably. And what does Eli Manning and the Giants do but beats them twice? 2 times in 5 years. And you want to hear another one of your ridiculous Frank Gore 1-16 stats? He is one of 13 quarterbacks ever to win 2 Super Bowls. The only non-Hall of Famer of those is Jim Plunkett. Arguably should be in 2.
Oh, my God. Oh, okay. No MVPs. No All-Pro selections. Did you not just shit on Frank Gore for not having any of those nominations and Matt Ryan?
Matt Ryan had one. He had one All-Pro and one MVP.
Accountable. Great. Why does Eli Manning get in and he doesn't have a single season where he was the top quarterback in the game?
Because of the historical precedent set by Joe Namath and what that win did. It's the same thing that Eli Manning did. He should be in for that reason, and I will forever argue that. Eli Manning absolutely should be a Hall of Famer.
You're outside your mind. Should Ernest Biner be in because he's got the most famous fumble of all time? Like, Jesus Christ. What?
Well, that's a little different, isn't it?
Because,
I was going to say, there's a little difference in one of them
is so good.
Like a win?
Because his win is not because of Eli Manning. His win is because a receiver caught a horrible pass on the hood of his helmet. That is why Eli Manning is getting into Hall of Fame.
NFL.
And Eli Manning's goofy ass got out of that sack.
If QB wins isn't a statistic, Oh my God! And then he threw a horrific pass. And
Was
if
it caught?
David Tyree doesn't catch that ball, it doesn't matter if it's caught.
Hey, and by the way, you said the other one, the Mario Manningham pass, was a hell of a ball.
That was a great ball.
That was a hell of a ball.
I'm tired of Eli Manning getting credit for
that. Was a great
passing.
Pass too. Well, give him that's fine. You can say it was a bad pass on David Tyree. That's fine. You're also ignoring what Steven said to get out of the sack. And I'm sorry. In playoff games, weird things happen.
Baker Mayfield gets out of sacks well.
No, he doesn't. That's why he has a fucking broken shoulder. Hasn't been the same for 2 years. Fuck out of here. What we fail to talk about is a quarterback in Matt Ryan who's been sacked the second most during the duration of his career. From 2004 to 2019, during Eli's career, he was sacked the fourth most. But to David's point, that 60% completion percentage, it is so bad. But also, he's fourth in yards, fourth in touchdowns, but he was the number one in interceptions, and he had a lot of fumbles to go with that. So he was clumsy, but for some reason, and what unfortunately the Hall of Fame is graded on, are the games that happen in January and the games that happen in February. And he was able to, unlike his counterpart, Brett Favre, you can relate to in the turnovers. Brett Favre got to the Super Bowl twice as well, but he's only got one of those rings and one Super Bowl MVP. You got Eli Manning with a two-time Super Bowl champ, two-time MVP.
210 straight starts, by the way.
Yeah, and
10th all-time.
He made it look ugly, and he might be a beneficiary of a really good defense and a Brandon Jacobs, Amon Bradshaw rush attack. But I also led with just low-hanging fruit. And this kind of puts an asterisk next to it. No, I'm not ready to put Joe Flacco in the Hall of Fame. But NFL record most passing yards in a single postseason. Sure, he relied on his defense, which a lot of people did against the Patriots during that time. But to have an NFL record and the way the passing game is now, how's Pat Mahomes not break this in 2 games?
Just throwing it out there, Joe Namath. I know it's a different era. I completely get that. He threw 47 more interceptions than he did touchdowns in his career.
A lot of the
You're right. So
50%.
Everyone should get into the Hall of Fame. So you agree, Matt Ryan should get into the Hall of Fame because he was better than Joe Namath. So
my point was that if we put Joe Namath in, what was the reason?
History to fucking
all right. Well, here's the question: why is Joe Namath in the Hall of Fame?
Because
why is he in?
Oh my God! Because he was literally the face of the NFL for 10 years.
Because of his guarantee in Super Bowl III and beat Johnny Unitas. He was not that good.
Broadway Joe was a nickname not for a Super Bowl win. Get out of here.
Yes, it was. Do you think he's Broadway Joe if Johnny Unitas beats that Jets team in Super Bowl III? Oh absolutely not.
Yes, I do.
I rest my case, Your Honor.
I'm just a hall monitor. But it's like 7 o'clock. I think you guys should just get home. Your parents might be worrying. But no, I think all 3 of them should be in, so I'm boring. But Matt Ryan, you can almost make
here we go again.
You can almost, hey. I will tear up this Hall Pass.
Put John Gruden in. Dan Snyder, you're an influencer.
Okay, we're done here. We're out of here.
You're outside your mind, Wally. You've lost the sauce. You're out, if it were up to you, there'd be 4 players in the Hall of Fame.
And they'd all be
they'd all be Raiders.
Yeah, it probably would be.